Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is actually my first ever YouTube video, so thank you so much for being here. I do a lot of Dreamlight Valley and some Sims 4 content, so if you're ever interested in that, please do subscribe. I'd love to share these cozy games together with you. Today's video is about Dreamsnaps and having some tips and tricks when doing them. I typically do pretty consistently well on Dreamsnaps. Here's a couple of my results that I've gotten recently. So I just find it very important to share these with you if you're ever looking to have inspiration. My first one is lighting. Now, before you do anything, I think lighting is very crucial when it comes to making dream snaps. Now you can see I'm doing my character right here. I believe facing wherever the sun is positioned is the best way to have your character glow and shine and really has a great focal point for your character. You see in the back here, the lighting isn't horrible, but I think the other side is a little bit better, so I'm going to be facing the other way. My next tip is placing large items first. Now, for this week's Dream Snap, we are doing a Mulan-inspired build. So, I am placing maybe like the house we just got in the premium shop, Mulan's house, positioning those first, because I find it most helpful to build around the specific building that you're working with, or just larger objects in general. It really makes the build come alive, and it's just much easier to do rather than starting with maybe clutter items first, for example, or even like trees or foliage first. My next tip is placing items that fit the theme. So you can see I'm using the filter in the furniture mode to go through, and I'm clicking things that might be useful in this Dream Snap, like the Mulan tab, turning red, any of the ones that fit this week, like Lavish or Elliot, whatever. Using those, and I'm placing stuff down that I think would find useful. Now I'm placing stuff down in this video, but I think I end up changing them and moving them around. The whole idea is just to put them down first and see what you're working with. On another note, I think it's also useful to pick biomes that fit the right theme as well. For example, if I'm doing a winter theme for our Dream Snap, I might want to build maybe in the Frosted Heights biome, or if I'm doing a Moana theme, the beach would be perfect. For Mulan, I think you can do a lot of different biomes, and you can really transform biomes to really make sure that your Dream Snap looks like it's in a completely different world. I've seen a lot of people do that. They're very creative and amazing when it comes to that. Me, I'm not that creative, so I tried to stick with sticking into like biomes that I think are most beneficial when it comes to making dream snaps. Another tip that I have is actually for decor dream snaps. So when you're doing a decor build, I recommend going through these tags again, and even if there's items that you don't really want in your dream snap, put them in but hide them behind the big buildings. You can actually increase the tag limits you have, and I've heard a lot of content creators say that the more tags you have, the more likely your photo will be seen. So there's another tip for you. My next tip and trick is using fencing and paths. Now, when using fencing, I don't find it necessary to use fencing, but if there's a fence that really works, it could really help section off your build. For me and my brain, it helps organize things better, so I know where to kind of put things. If I even want to hide things because I don't want to add more stuff, I most likely will use a fence. I think this week's Dream Snap, with you doing a Mulan theme, I think this bamboo fence looks very nice and very pretty with her house. So I ended up using that one. For paths, I actually used two here. This is the tropical wood one. This one is from the expansion pack for Eternity Isle that you can craft. I loved this one, just to path, you know, going up to her house and maybe an entranceway. I also use another one to fill up space. So I really recommend using paths when you can, because I think it makes your dream snap a little a little bit more finished. There's a lot of dream snaps I come across when voting where I think they're really great, but sometimes I think they look a little unfinished because there's nothing really on the ground. Obviously, if you're doing one that's like a safari build or a Lion King build and you want to go into the sunlit plateau, I don't think you really need to use paths. I think the grass is perfect, or like a jungle build would be awesome. You don't need to use pathing. But in my opinion, I think majority of times when we do dream snaps, I think using paths can kind of help and lay out things and make it easier for you to know where to decorate, and I just really like them. But that's entirely up to you and what you decide to do. The next tip I have is landscaping. So as you can see here, I'm going through the trees, and I believe that trees can really help make colors pop in your build, and also just fill up maybe more of the back areas. I don't recommend using trees right in the front where you want to take your picture, because it can cover up some majority of your dream snap, but you could. I've seen people do that and they position it perfect where it looks really nice. As you can see, I'm going in with the new trees we got in the recent update. I love these ones. They're so gorgeous. I'm using these ones to add more of the colors for pink, make that pop more with like in the lanterns. I also have some magnolia like leaves that are on the ground I wanted to put, so I'm going in with that. The next tree I used was the short Japanese maple tree. I love these ones. I think the red is gorgeous. Again, using the colors to really make the dream snap and the items I selected pop more. Using those in the back to add some more height, more depth to my build. I think that really truly helps in a lot of ways. I do recommend using trees to achieve that sort of look. Next, I am going in with some more foliage. This time I'm using a lot of bushes, and this one, I like to use bushes to really frame up either objects in my build or frame up the picture in general. So when you're talking about those smaller corners, like in the bottom right and left corners, when you're taking your picture, I think it's best to add foliage because they are shorter than trees, and it really makes the picture look finished. It looks more detailed, and also the foliage is just really pretty. So I think it catches a lot of people's attention as well. So I went in with the peaceful meadow ones. I liked that pop of green because it really stood out against the darker green with the grass. So I went in with those. I did really like how this turned out. You can use a lot of colors to make colors more pop. Oh, I love using these ones too. These are from the expansion pack that we have for Eternity Isle. I like using these ones because you can actually put them pretty close to objects. So I like to put these in corners where I know I can't fit any other like physical objects next to it, but I want it to be kind of covered up. I want it to look full and lush, so I'll put these kind of like in little corners to make it look like it should be there, and it looks really nice. I think I went in also with the other wild tangle plant. This one's a little bit smaller and it has a little bit more different shape to it, so I went in that just to add some more diversity with the foliage, and I think it looked really nice. So I recommend using plants too. Next one I have is daylight versus night. I typically do my dream snaps when they're outside. I like to do in the daytime or at sunset. So you can see I'm playing with all of the different durations of the day. When I'm doing night builds, I find it that the character kind of gets washed out. It's really hard to see, even though I think the lights are very pretty. it's hard to see. I recommend doing a night build when you have a lot of glowing lights or plants with it, maybe like a villain type of Dreamsnap. That's when I would recommend using the night one. Other than that, I think your best bet is to stay with the daytime. My next one is filters. While I do love filters, I think there's some filters that aren't the best. See, I'm going through the ones that I don't recommend unless they're for a specific theme, like an Oswald, then use an old one. But I think it washes out the colors for pretty much. These are the ones I do recommend, either no filter, the one at the top right, or the bottom right. Those are usually my go-to ones that I use when I am creating a dream snap, and I think they look really nice. This is my final dream snap that we came up with this week. I added some fireworks in the background. I maybe added some more items that I didn't in recording, but I really liked how it turned out. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.